Hi, and welcome to another edition of USAJobZoo.com TV. I'm AJ Janitschek along with Bill Golden, the CEO of USAJobZoo.com TV. Hi, Bill. Good to see you again.
Hey, glad to be here.
Hey, you know what? Last time we met, we were talking about creating your own job, and we're going to do that in a moment. We're going to continue that conversation, but we do need to mention that this week's sponsor is IntelligenceCareers.com. Whether it's in the United States, overseas, if you need a job, they can help you.
They do. IntelligenceCareers.com has interesting jobs of all kinds, whether it's in counterintelligence, foreign languages, scientist, other kinds of jobs. One of the jobs that people don't often think of is accounting and finance.
Right.
A huge number, the intelligence community is highly involved in Department of Defense contract oversight. But IntelligenceCareers.com, I want to encourage you to consider it. 9,000 to 12,000 jobs available at any time across the USA and in 28 countries worldwide, in good and very bad neighborhoods everywhere.
And our employer of note this week is Lockheed Martin.
We're focused on Lockheed Martin.
Why is that?
Great opportunities from Lockheed Martin in spatial and geospatial technologies. Throughout November, Lockheed Martin is interviewing qualified professionals on Mondays and Tuesdays in the Metro Washington, D.C. area. Go to our website, either usajobzoo.com or intelligencecareers.com. Click on the banner, go to Lockheed Martin, upload your resume, and wait for the phone to ring.
Now, we were talking last time about creating your own job. I can go home and I can sit there all day long and think of a lot of things I'd like to do, but it ain't getting it done if I don't have somebody to back me up, right?
That's the way it works.
So I should come to somebody and get a loan. Like, do I start with a bank first? Is that a good place to start? And what do they want when I walk in the door?
Oh, to start your own job, to create your own job? Long before you ever get to that point, you need to think about what it is. What value do you have?
Exactly. Because that's what we mentioned in one of our previous episodes. We mentioned, what are you passionate about? What do you know how to do? You know, it's impossible to be a brain surgeon if you've never done it before.
That may be shooting a little bit high, too.
Sure, you know, the intelligence level, you know, for you and I is a little bit lower than IntelligenceCareers.com, which is really high. So that's why we had a business to create that. But seriously, you have to know what it is that you can do and what you want to do.
That's important.
Even if it's working the cash register at a department store, if you have no desire for it, then why even try to do it?
Yeah. But if you're going to create your own job, here's something very, very important. Many people think that to create their own job, they need to create a company. Step back. Think about your community. In many ways, jobs of the future, regardless of what technology is involved, jobs of the future are really the jobs of the 19th century as far as it works. People had things that they offered their fellow members of the community, whether it's shoeing horses, helping build a barn, etc. Now, technology has changed. We need accounting, we need green engineers to help rebuild houses and offices.
Or along those lines, people in IT. Help desk is still required.
Sure.
Small companies need support. Even people at their homes still need the Geek Squad and other people like that to come in and fix their issues.
And that, you know, I'm glad you brought that up. Such things as the Geek Squad from BestBuy.com or Best Buy. The Geek Squad is a good example of large companies actually creating jobs by saying, look, we understand that what's important is helping the community, and that does not require that you come to us. You need what you need where you need it, and need to get away from the store. But let's talk about technology. Now, you have worked for a while in radio and television.
Yeah, about 30 years in radio and TV and media.
30 years.
Yeah, and I'm currently working at a media company in this area too.
Now, for you, do you work only with employed staff? Are there any contractors involved?
It's actually a mixture. The majority of the work that we do is all full-time staff, but there has always been a reliance on contractors to some extent, because when there's personnel shortages, we need to make sure that when you're in a broadcast situation, that you always have the programming on air. So whether it's at 6 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock in the morning, you got to make sure that there's somebody there to oversee the running of programs on the air, and if something breaks, they have to fix it. So we've done that for a long time. 1099 contractors on an on-call or as-needed basis.
So these individuals do not necessarily work for a company. They are the company.
Well, they work, one could say that, they're 1099, so they are, in essence, their own company. If you want to say that as a 1099, I think you're considered your own company. And they are under contract with us for an hourly wage on call. Our help desk also has a few people that come in as needed. And same thing, it's preferred, for example, in the help desk that you've got your A+ certification, but it's not always a requirement.
Right.
I have my own A+ certification just because that's part of what I have to work with and deal with, so that way when a computer problem happens, I at least have an understanding of what's wrong with the computer.
And that explains a lot. You having an A+ certification, because if I had to pick any certification and pin it on you, it would be A+.
Okay, well thank you. I would give you the gold star, but instead you're wearing the white and blue star on your shirt today.
America.
That's the platinum star, so we'll give you that one right there.
But let me ask you, these people who act as contractors for you, do they perhaps work for any other organizations?
Sure, they work for other media organizations. Most of them have other full-time jobs. And some of them aren't just broadcast operations, but I believe we have one that belongs to the World Bank. There are people that run their own studios. So they come from all different walks of life and have either gained the information to be able to work with us through previous jobs, or have previously worked with us as full-timers and found another job but still want to maintain their connection with us.
Sure. So the key to these individuals creating their own job was to identify who needed them.
Correct.
To have skills, and it may not be a full-time gig, so to look around and actually build a collection of customers based upon time available.
And how they got to us also was
and how does that often happen?
Through advertisements. There's the...
You put an ad in the paper and say, I'm looking for a help desk?
And unfortunately, because the papers cost so much for ads, we usually avoid them. We find places that are either very inexpensive, like Craigslist, or even free, like there are professional organizations for broadcasting. There's the Society of Broadcast Engineers, SBE.org. And we'll send them our advertisements, and they post them kindly enough for free, because they're advertising to their members about work that's available at this broadcast station.
Now, AJ, being an A+ certified person, what is another word for what you just described? What are these people doing? They're networking.
Okay, I was thinking, okay, I hope that's networking you're talking about, because
gotta check that box. Got to check that box. Yeah.
Glad you got that out of the way.
No, but yeah, what they're doing is networking. They're hanging out with other people with similar skills and interests.
And as we mentioned in some of our previous episodes too, if you network with your friends or form your own entrepreneurial group or join an entrepreneurial group, and one could honestly say any business group, whether it's the BNI that you've talked about, the Business Network International, Chamber of Commerce, Society of Broadcast Engineers, I'm sure there's a million and one other organizations out there that you can connect with and network with, and even through LinkedIn, which we probably need to make sure we mention too.
And we have a Facebook page. You can go to facebook.com/USA Jobs. But there are many professional groups that have Facebook pages too.
Sure. And that's a good place to advertise. Again, not to say that the newspapers are bad, they're still a good place to advertise, especially when you're having real difficulty finding a specific specialist. But Craigslist and professional organizations that have a job bank, perfect place to go. IntelligenceCareers.com and USAJobZoo.com, that's also a free place to put your resume too.
Put your resume to let people know that you're out there. And a great place to find a job. USAJobZoo.com on any given day has between 70 to 90,000 jobs available.
Wow.
And IntelligenceCareers.com has between 9 to 12,000 jobs available at any time of the day.
Now, I think we should differentiate that. When people are looking for a job that doesn't require a clearance, yes, there are some on IntelligenceCareers.com, but you're going to find a lot of them on USAJobZoo.com.
And the big difference, of course, is USA JobZoo is for jobs that are in commercial industry,
But let's make sure we also say that it's not just the United States, but there are also some international positions available.
That's right. So we may call it USA Job Zoo, but we have some strange creatures from around the world. And some of those places are, we have constantly, we have jobs in China,
right,
Ireland, Russia. We have jobs throughout the Middle East, some in South America. Currently, we have a growth of jobs in the Philippines and in Japan. So we really have jobs all over.
Literally around the world. You might as well just call yourselves WorldJobZoo.com.
World Job Zoo, you know, I'll have to run home and start that website.
Quick, copyright it tonight.
That's right. But I do want to talk, so, you know, you're from a fairly large organization and you use contract personnel. There are some other people. There's an individual I'd like to cover, a gentleman that I'm always in correspondence with, Andrew Lubin. Professor Andrew Lubin is a war correspondent and blogger. Now, he doesn't work for a company per se. He teaches some courses, etc. But Andrew Lubin is a kind of person who has invented his own reality. He likes Marines.
He created his own job.
He created his own job. And his job really, he has an incredibly interesting job. He will get on the plane and travel to Afghanistan. He'll write a blog while out in the field. This is on your screen. You'll see he has a blog and website called the Military Observer. Andrew Lubin loves Marines. He loves being out there where things are happening. And I would encourage you to go to visit the Military Observer online. But this is a gentleman. Now, he has been raising money over the last 6 months.
That's worth pointing out because I think he could probably stand to have a few donations too.
Yeah,
correct?
Andrew, and he could use some money. We have financially helped support Andrew in the past, but Andrew is raising money to help pay for some of his expeditions, and he will spend time with the Marines. He just got back about a week or two ago from Afghanistan.
Plans to return anytime soon?
Plans, I don't know exact intentions, but given the chance, you'll find Andrew.
Yeah, and I guess if he has the proper funding, then he'll return too.
And you could help Andrew if you're a company. Make this an advertising expense. That's what we've done. $500, $1,000, $1,500 would help. That would really immensely help Andrew. And if 20 companies were to pitch in. But no, this is a good example of someone, he's got skills, he's got some media savvy, and he's decided that getting on the plane and just going and doing it, and hopefully someone will send money will help.
Do you have an example of some of the stuff that we can read on his page or his blog?
You know, I don't at the moment. I don't.
So if
have
we
it
did want to
readily
read that though, what is his website? Is it?
It's Military Observer, but you know what? That is a good point.
MilitaryObserver.com.
What I would do is on the homepage of USA Job Zoo, I will post links to Andrew Lubin's publications and to what he's currently doing. And just search on the keyword, go to usajobzoo.com, search on the keyword Lubin, L-U-B-I-N.
Perfect example of somebody who's actually taken something they're passionate about, the Marine Corps, reporting, correspondence, and actually turned it into his own job. So he is his own boss, albeit in probably a hotter zone of the world than most of us are doing in the United States, but still doing something he loves.
Sure. Now, before we close, we only have a minute or two, but I think that before we began this episode, you were telling me that you know of a contract producer that travels the world creating videos, or...
Well, we've had a person working with us at our company that actually did that. He was hired as a contractor and went into Asia and created video products for us that we weren't able to do with our own staff.
Sure.
So I think as a contractor, you may be a little bit more freer to come and go as you please with a set budget. You know what it is you have to do. If you're just representing yourself, which is I guess really what most contractors do, it's sometimes easier to get people to talk, get doors open for you too, without going out there and saying, "Look, I'm one of the major networks from the United States of America. Oh, well, I don't necessarily want to talk to you. If it's just me, AJ, I don't want to ask you a few questions."
But I've got a basket full of skills, and here's my cost.
Sure. And I just happen to have a camera with me.
Hey,
Yep.
that's the plan.
Yep.
Well, I think that's it for this.
Right.
Let's mention our sponsor again if we haven't mentioned them enough.
That's Lockheed Martin.
Well,
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible with Lockheed Martin, and Lockheed Martin has an incredible number of opportunities throughout the Metro DC region. Just go to usajobzoo.com, click on the Lockheed Martin banner.
Right. And they are our employer of the week. Our sponsor of the week is intelligencecareers.com.
Which we dearly love.
So I missed that one at first. Sorry about that. But thanks for joining us for another edition of usajobzoo.com TV. I'm AJ Janitschek along with CEO Bill Golden. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.
Bye-bye.